Canada relies on the U.S. for 75% of its exports, but with Trump coming into office, how is that going to affect Canada's economy? We got a lot to discuss today, lots of articles. Number one, trade tensions will resurface. In 2016, Trump put tariffs on steel and aluminum, which wasn't good for our economy. Now, kind of the funny thing, and what I was impressed with, is that Trudeau, Canada, responded with putting tariffs on orange juice, whiskey, and steel products. So when the steel was coming back into Canada, we put tariffs on it. Trump got rid of those pretty quickly. Probably didn't expect Trudeau to do that. Brought him back in 2020, right before he got out, and then they canceled them again. And then obviously when Biden came in, free trade. We're not going to do any of that. So what will Trump do this time? He's already talking about slapping tariffs on everybody. Here's why I don't think he's going to do that to Canada again. It makes no sense, really. That was just an act of aggression, an act of machismo, whatever you call it. I don't see that happening again because Trump's whole focus with the tariffs, by the way, is putting tariffs on specific companies. It's not just willy-nilly putting tariffs on everybody unless they do it to him first. It's putting it on companies who are making products in China, like John Deere, for example, and many other companies, even Apple iPhone, and bringing those products back to America to sell to the American consumer using America without using America to make the products. That's what he's more so talking about doing, is specific companies, not just tariffs on everything. Again, we're the biggest trading partner with America, and we're their biggest partner as well, right behind Mexico. So it doesn't make any sense for him to fuck with Canada too much unless it makes sense for him. Unless a company is making products in Canada and shipping them back in the U.S. for a cheaper price, which we know is not happening. People are using cheap labor in China, India, and all of that. Next thing up is energy uncertainty. This could really mess with Canada's economy because, as I'm always saying, Canada is an oil nation, baby. We're a dirty oil nation. And as much as Trudeau knows that behind closed doors, in front of the doors, his political theater is that he wants to shut down oil, basically, get rid of carbon emissions and the carbon footprint and all that. But Canada's entire economy is oil. We have so much oil and natural gas beneath our feet. It is insane. We could literally be one of the richest countries on earth per capita, per GDP per capita, because of what we have, but we're not using it to its full potential. Now, Trump has said when he gets in, one of the first things he's going to do is open up Keystone XL, something he wanted to do in 2017, 2018, but the permits dragged on, and by the time he got ousted, basically, in 2020, Biden shut that shit down because he doesn't want to be seen as a carbon-polluting, president. It's bullshit. Trump has already campaigned on, when I get in, the taps are getting turned on. Now, that would be fantastic for Canada. It would be great if we have a prime minister who will allow the taps to be open. I don't know if Trudeau is going to be that guy, but we know Pierre Poilievre definitely is. That's why Pierre Poilievre-Trump combination, oh my God, it's like the Avengers. North America will be on fire for the next 4 years. We'll be destroying every country. Saudi Arabian oil, Russian oil, African oil, don't even think about it. You're bullshit. We're going to destroy you, which is the way it should be. And that's the way Trump is campaigning. Drill, baby, drill is literally his campaign. Now, surprisingly, Biden's been pumping a lot of oil. Like, the U.S. has been pumping the most oil they've ever pumped these past 4 years, which is impressive. But Trump wants to double down and do even more pumping because he wants to bust out Saudi Arabian oil, right? He fucked them is what he wants to say. He wants to destroy them. Why? The oil money just funnels into all the bullshit you're seeing in the Middle East right now. The Hamas war, Hezbollah, Iran, like, they're all rich because of oil. Now, Trump is saying, why are we allowing them to get rich when they're bastards, basically, when they're fucking around with the Middle East and the world, destabilizing everything? He says, why don't we get super rich and plummet the price of oil? This will lower inflation. This will be good for the citizens with his America First mandate. It's going to bring down energy prices. And the consequence of that is it's going to ruin Saudi Arabia because when oil gets below $65 a barrel, $60 a barrel for Brent crude oil, they start suffering. Like, they're making no profit. We can make more profit here because there's more oil. It's easy to get in Texas, in the U.S. They can process it faster. They have better technology than they do. So when oil gets below that $65 a barrel range, it starts really, really hurting their budget. It doesn't really hurt America's budget. It makes gas lower, makes prices lower, but it does hurt Canada a lot because our oil is the least efficient to get. It requires more technology. It's very hard to process. So when our oil, again, gets below $65, $60 a barrel, that's kind of the sweet spot. Canada starts hurting as well. However, if we start implementing more technology and allowing it to pump more and allowing private companies to come in and figure out a better way to do it, they can process it in profit. Anyway, went too long on that one. Immigration policy. Obviously, Trump's going to make a super strict border. He's going to clean shit up. No more immigration bullshit. No more flights coming in from all these places with undocumented people. He's going to lock the borders on the air and on the ground. Now, this is bad for Canada because what we did see under a Trump presidency in 2016 is that all the illegal immigrants, whether they're good or bad, they're still illegal. They were coming up to the Canadian border and coming into Canada. They were too afraid of getting deported. So they would come from Mexico, cross the entire U.S., lots of space, and then come into Canada and stay in Canada. And now it's being documented and show that our border on the ground in Canada is like there is no border. Like the RCMPs already came out and said, like, dude, there's nobody there. Like there's nobody there. So that's a problem for Trump because a lot of people are flying in from other countries into Canada and then crossing the border in Saskatchewan, New York, and then just coming to America. Well, we could see it go the reverse way. Right? If it's known around the world that Trump's going to deport you, if you come to America, they're going to come to America and then quickly come to Canada before they get caught and stay in Canada and live here, right? That's a problem as well because we already have too many immigrants, too many people, not enough housing. The fundamentals are all out of whack. Now you want to add more people and undocumented. It's going to be a gong show. Next up, we have currency fluctuations. A volatile U.S. dollar was what we saw under Trump presidency. Why? He's a wacky guy. He says crazy shit on Twitter. The dollar goes up. The dollar goes down. Stocks go up. Stocks go down. He's a volatile president. He does it on purpose, by the way. He's not an idiot, man. Okay, now that he's won a second time and almost won that middle time, it was like so close, and then obliterated the last win, give him respect, okay? If you don't like him, at least give your enemies respect. The dude is a black belt. Super smart, okay? So the shit he does while he's in president mode of like, he says wacky shit and the dollar goes up, stock market goes up, stock market rallies, it goes down. He does all that on purpose. He doesn't want you to see his next move. And he's also a master marketer, which means he's a master split tester. I can tell you this as a marketer, entrepreneur myself. He's a genius at throwing something out and seeing if it sticks at the wall. Oh, it didn't stick. Stocks went down. Businesses did not like that. Okay, pull that one back. Let's throw this at the wall. Oh, that one stuck. I'm going to triple down on that one. He's a fucking master at marketing in real time. The problem with governments is that they're too slow, too methodical. They move at a snail's pace, which, by the way, is the way the founding fathers wanted the Constitution and wanted government to go at a snail's pace. But this guy is a private business, right? We business people, I can tell you, we want shit fast. Okay, people who are successful in business, they move quickly. They don't move slowly like everybody else at a fucking snail's pace. So he's bringing the private world success into the government. And why do you think he's signing so many executive orders? Why do you think he's split testing so much shit, saying wacky things, doing deals with businesses to get jobs back in America? He's fast. That's good and bad. It's bad for the Canadian dollar. It's great for America. Great for testing things out and trying things quick. Canada doesn't like that because a volatile U.S. dollar means a shitty Canadian dollar. Why? We're just the little dinky brother of America. Whatever they do, we do. So if they're doing bad or doing wacky, our economy is doing wacky. And the whole thing of Canada is stability. That's why rich billionaires and millionaires from China, from Saudi Arabia, from India, Singapore, that's why they invest in Canada, specifically real estate in Canada. Why? Our country is known to be stable. It's a monarch, government, monarch society. It's slow. It's tempered. Well, when you got this guy in there, Canada's economy is not so tempered, okay? It messes us up. And we Canadians are very conservative and very humble compared to Americans. I can tell you this because I'm now in the U.S. doing our business, okay? I flipped over 150 properties, had 13 employees in my construction business. Now I'm doing all of that in America at 3 times bigger, by the way. The scaling opportunity in the U.S. is amazing. So, but I can tell you, working one-on-one with these businesses, with mortgage brokers, with realtors, with contractors, there's a massive culture difference, which I never understood. Yeah, you hear Americans are different. They're fucking way different. And the more I live there, because we spend the winters down there, and soon we're going to be living there full time. We're applying for our visa right now because fuck Canada. I can tell you, living there now for 3 winters in a row, doing business there, Americans are way different than us. We're very humble and subtle. Don't piss anybody off. Don't say anything wrong. These guys are fucking insane. I'll tell you that. Straight up, they'll just tell you, hey, I don't like what you're doing. You're fucking around. Stop it. Like, they're way more direct on the phone, way more direct in business, which is crazy. Last thing up, global influence shift. Trump's return could strain Canada's position in international trade. Yes. So, again, Canada is seen as stability. So when we trade with everybody around the world, you know, bringing food from Italy, olive oil, whatever, all this champagne from France, whatever, all the trade we do, but is making us seem stable. But the majority of our trade is with America. Like I said, 75% of our exports and probably more of that for our imports. So if we have bad relations with the U.S. and Trump doesn't like Canada, he's slapping tariffs on us, it's going to make everything sludgy. It's going to make all the jobs of all the businesses, all the manufacturing shops in Windsor, in Southern Ontario, Toronto, Kitchener-Waterloo, it's just going to create friction. And we don't like friction when we're supposed to be trading. What's supposed to be a free trade ally is going to get muddled up. So, again, that's not good for Canada's economy at all. If we got bad trade relations, if we got tariffs on steel, again, Ontario is a manufacturing hub. Ontario is just manufacturing. Alberta is oil, right? And energy and natural gas. Ontario is manufacturing and technology, especially tech right now, especially Southern Ontario, Kitchener-Waterloo specifically. It is tech. But if we got bad relations and a destabilized America, Google, Shopify, all the big companies we have right now in Kitchener-Waterloo, in Ontario, trying to grow their business, they might not want to come here so much. If we can't trade computer chips or whatever the fuck they're trading easily, they might not want to be here. They might want to only stay in Silicon Valley and probably more so Austin, Texas. Okay, we have companies leaving California to go to Texas, lower taxes. We can talk about that. I can talk about this for fucking hours. There's so many tips to go through. But that's what I got for today. Is Trump presidency going to be bad for Canada or good for Canada? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.